John Wick's back in theaters. Phil, what'd you think? Phil? Phil? Damn you, Thanos! Welcome to the fourth act. I'm Alex. Phil is out of town this week, so this is my solo review of John Wick Chapter 3, which, as I said, is in theaters now, directed once again by Chad Stahelski, and starring Keanu Reeves, of course, as John Wick. This is a spoiler-free review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't even worry about it! Now, I went into John Wick 3 ready to call John Wick the franchise one of the best trilogies of all time. You can fight me on that in the comments, but how many franchises can you think of that have 3 good movies and tell one story? There aren't that many. I'm happy to say that John Wick does have 3 good movies. It is first and foremost an action franchise, and the action is incredible. I cannot stress enough how exciting it is to see wide shot, long takes of just meticulously crafted, amazing choreography. This is what Hollywood needs. No more of this Liam Neeson jumping over a fence in 9 takes or whatever. The action is beautifully shot. It's some of the best choreography I've seen since The Raid. Actually, one of the actors from The Raid was in this movie. I don't know how to say his name, but that's him right there in the picture. Also in this movie and fighting alongside John Wick is Halle Berry. We've known for a long time that Halle Berry is capable of some really amazing action and just never gotten the opportunity to see it. She was underused in 007. She was extremely underused in Catwoman. She's a badass in this movie, and also fighting alongside her are her dogs. And if you were mad about them killing the dog in the first movie, you're gonna love this movie, because the dogs, they have a part of the action, and it is an amazing scene. Oh, it put a huge smile on my face. Absolutely one of the highlights. Keanu Reeves, the dogs, and Halle Berry all fighting together. Halle Berry, I'm also very excited for her directorial debut where she's working with the choreographers of this movie in a movie called Bruise. That's going to come out and I'm very excited for that. Ian McShane and Lawrence Fishburne also make a return in this movie. They're doing their thing, but somebody else who also gets in on the action, and rightfully so, is Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick, who I believe to be a very underrated actor, finally gets his chance to defend with John Wick against a group of assassin ninjas. Let's talk about the assassin ninjas. A lot of fun watching John go up against ninjas. The movie did a great job of making the ninjas seem like a challenge for John Wick. Like, he didn't know how to fight them at first. He had to learn. He had to adapt. The leader of the ninjas was one of the main antagonists, but he never turned into that unreasonable, crazy bad guy that happens so often. He actually expressed a lot of respect for John Wick, even went as far as to fanboy out over him, which was definitely a moment that I really liked. Gave me a good laugh.
It's an honor to meet you, officially. I sort of met you. I mean, I watched you while you were sleeping.
There's plenty of world building in this movie. Something that was kind of introduced in the last movie. You kind of had to go with it. This movie dives deeper into that. It doubles down. And I think it pays off. I think it's pretty cool. It deals with themes of consequences. So you see characters like Lawrence Fishburne or Ian McShane's character having to deal with the consequences of some of their actions from the last movie. And the movie uses that opportunity to build out the universe. How does this secret group of international assassins work? What are some of the rules? What happens when you break the rules? What are the consequences? It's not just wall-to-wall action. I think it would be a bit monotonous if that happened, so it takes a breath in the middle, and it builds out the world even more, which I think is a pro. At the end of the day, while I can say that John Wick has 3 good movies, what I still cannot say is that it is a perfect trilogy. Main reason being that it's not a trilogy. If you're going into this movie expecting it to be the big conclusion of the John Wick franchise, then you, like me, will probably be a little bit disappointed, because that's not what this movie is. It doesn't pretend to be the final chapter. It is just another movie. Now, this doesn't make the movie any better or worse in and of itself. It's just a little bit disappointing to me, because it seems like the creators missed out on an opportunity to just have this perfect collection of 3 movies that tell one story. Just a clean-cut trilogy, which for some reason seems to be a huge rarity in Hollywood. But that's okay. It just means that this franchise is a little bit less like The Matrix and more like Mission Impossible. Probably a good thing. So there you go. That's my review of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Great movie, not a trilogy. If you like good action, you'll love this movie. If you like John Wick, it's got every John Wickism. Got guns and knives. It's got Keanu Reeves being all like, yeah. And it's got two guys locking eyes from across a crowded room and being like, yep, you're my enemy. And then staying frozen for about 5 seconds before they jump into action.
You working?
Yeah. You?
That will be it for this act. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, click the link to our channel below. We've got a lot of fun videos on there for you to see. We did a ranking of every Marvel movie not that long ago in honor of Endgame. And of course we have our usual agree or disagree segment where we compare thoughts because sometimes two heads better than one. Speaking of two heads, my usual co-host Phil will be back with me next week. We'll be doing our normal shtick. Hopefully we'll have an agree or disagree segment for Aladdin out by Sunday. And as always, leave a comment. What are some of the best trilogies that you can think of? Like and subscribe, or don't because you have free will. I don't know, I guess that's just something that we say now. Whatever. Bye.